Well, welcome back to Tony and Lass's camping videos back on Dartmoor. We got here late last night, so that's why I didn't bother filming anything. I just set up camp. I just got a couple of tiny quick notes just to get in here. If you'd like to support the channel so that Lassie can have some dog food, there are Amazon affiliate links below in the description. You might like to order. Oh my God, this is like oh, Lassie. Lassie, I don't think that's gonna quite look careful. Steady. The microphone came off. I think I'm not quite sure what that's gonna look like on camera. That's it, shagged by the dog. Yeah, we don't normally get involved in that type of thing. You don't show them that. Yeah, you don't show them this shagging part. Come here around. Oh, ow. Oh, Lassie. Yeah, so there are Amazon affiliate links to different equipment and things like that I use. So if you're feeling so inclined to pop down there and just purchase a camera or something, actually you don't have to buy what's there. You can just click on one of those links and order whatever you want within 24 hours, and I get a teeny weeny little kickback on that. Alright, you know all about that. I'm not going to bore you anymore on that. And don't forget to like, subscribe and share while I think of it. And I'll do a quick introduction. Come here. This video is either going to be one video about just a general camping thing, or I'll break it down into a couple of parts. We'll kind of see how it goes if we survive that long. But I've got other sub videos which I will of course do, and I'll figure out what they are as I do them. Oh, Lassie. All right, well, we need a cup of tea after all that. Okay, well, I've just taking a break in camp, making a tea. Another video idea that might be worth doing at some point is my cooking system and why I specifically use this pretty much 99.9% of my camps. I switch and rotate most other equipment depending on the weather. Shoes, boots, you know, sleeping bags if it's cool, sleeping bags if it's warmer, tents, tarps, tarp tent type things, mids, you know, pretty much everything gets rotated. Bags, as in, you know, rucksacks, pretty much everything gets rotated. The only thing that I take on so far, to be honest, nearly every camp, I think you'd have to go back, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years to when I was using a different cooking system, but still the same company, to this, and pretty much every single trip I've used this. So that's probably another video idea. I don't think I'll do that one this trip because I've got other ideas and things I want to do this trip, but that is certainly worth doing. Okay, well, I'm going to have this tea and then I'm going to start thinking about what video, sub videos I do. I'm quite lazy these days in camp. I know quite a few of you, probably a lot of you, most of you, like walking videos and getting out and about and seeing the scenery. We will definitely do that. We're not going to stay in camp the entire summer. We'll definitely definitely do a walk or two at least. It's just I quite like things aren't necessarily the easiest at home, and I quite like to be able to just get out and do, and I'm quite tired as well, and I'm not as fit and active as I was a few years ago, unfortunately, due to other things. So I quite like just sort of coming into the middle of nowhere, and this is as middle of nowhere as you can get within reason. You won't see anyone all day, hardly. The occasional person walks past, you know, a hill in the distance. And I just, honestly, I just like chilling out here and relaxing and like recharging the batteries here. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm a bit of a lazy bastard, you know, recently. And I quite like doing sub videos, because when I'm walking, I tend to really just do like the one video, and I'm not pumping out as much content, oh God, and not producing as much. Whereas when I can do it like this, I'm sure other people say pumping out content without thinking about what they're just saying. It's in my mind. So yeah, I quite like sort of being in one place, and I can do like little sub videos, and that gets other people interested, and you know, a few views and things like that. And I must admit, I quite enjoy doing that, and it's a bit different editing and things like that. So that's one of the reasons why I tend to do that. Okay, right. Well, I'm going to have a tea, and then I'll see what the plan is. Right, I'm just momentarily using the microphone that's built onto the top of the Sony A6400, not built in, but the one that you attach on the top, not the Rode Go microphone. I'm just charging them up from power packs. Now, I've done several videos today. It's coming up to 6 o'clock in the evening. I've done one video on how to buy a Rolex watch. I've done one video on power packs and having them hooked up to different things. So in this instance, one power pack's charging the receiver. This power pack was charging the Sony camera, and this power pack here, which has two attachment points, is charging the sending part of the Rode mic and the GoPro Hero 9 camera. And then down here is my electrical corner. I've just put it on some mats here. I did a video on the GoPro Hero 9 media mod attachment, so I need to put these bits away that came with that. My earphones for listening to a film. I brought my old GoPro Hero 5. I used that to do a separate video on power packs. So I've been quite busy today making various videos and things. So I think that's probably all I will film for today. Oh, the other thing I did get hold of is one of these gadget one of these things to put filters in. So I've got 2 neutral density filters down there, one there for the GoPro, so 3 in total for the GoPro, and 1 for the Sony. So I do try to use those these days. I never bothered with them so much, but I think for video work. I think they are quite useful to have. I probably won't always bring this little microphone, but it's probably handy to have occasionally. I'm tempted to get the new Rode 2, but it's about nearly £300, or is it £200 or something like that. So it's quite expensive, so I might just pass on that one for the moment. I will in a minute use the tripod and put my weather meter up so I can see what the weather is doing. Okay, well the temperature now is 18 degrees. That was at 4 o'clock. Surprised there isn't a reading for 5 o'clock. Anyway, at 4 o'clock it was 18 degrees. At 3 o'clock, 19.9 degrees. At 2 o'clock, 21.7 degrees. At 1 o'clock, 22.6 degrees. It was definitely quite warm around lunchtime. 12 o'clock it was 21 degrees. 11 o'clock it dropped. It was 14.4. And at 10 o'clock 9.3. 6 o'clock 1.9 degrees. 5 o'clock 2.7. 3 o'clock this morning it was 0.4. Surprisingly, the lowest was about 3 o'clock this morning then, 0.4. 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock last night it was 4 degrees. I must admit my hands felt very cold last night, yet it was only 4 degrees and 3 degrees, but they did start to warm up. One thing I did bring this time, and maybe I should have bought a little bit thicker gloves, but I bought these very light icebreaker gloves. They're like liner gloves, and they are very, very thin and light merino gloves. My hands got a little bit cool in tent with them last night, but not so bad. What I tend to do is put one hand under the sleeping bag and have my hood up and put my other hand sort of next to my head, and that warms up quite quickly. Okay, I will say night night, and I will see you tomorrow. We're staying here another 2 nights, tonight and obviously tomorrow night. I think it's time for a tea, and I'm going to chill out, clear away some of this stuff here and make a tea, and then I'll think about what little sub videos to do tomorrow. Like I said, I hope that you enjoy the little sub video things that I'm doing more these days. I will do walks, just give me a little time to you know, to get around to doing that as we go into the spring and summer. Like I said, at the moment I just want to chill out and do sweet FA in camp, really, apart from just these little videos, which is nice and easy and relaxing. I'll see you in the morning. Okay, well, good morning everybody. It's nearly 10:10. We've been awake about an hour, done sweet FA, just chilling out. We've got Lassie because obviously it's decided it's great fun to start her digging duties again. I'm using the GoPro mostly for shooting video. I've done a video on the GoPro, well, on the media mount. Lassie, we don't need you digging quite that much. Be ankle tripping hazards. We've got water on, so I can, and I got a bit of a mess here. Tidy up my mess. Remember, when you're wild camping, leave no trace, take all your rubbish with you. Alright, my water's coming to boil, I'll be back in a minute. Just temporarily taken Lass's collar off, and she's getting very excited today. I've put her bed down. Of course she doesn't sleep on her bed, The only time she'll ever really sleep on that bed is if it's very, very cold and I put a foam mat on it, or if it's very, very wet, and then she'll sleep on it. But other than that, you know, she just sleeps on the grass, so that's where she slept there. Or quite often I'll wake up and she's not even in here and she'll be outside sleeping by the tussock or something. So I've obviously brought her pack with me. I put a few of her bits in there. She's busy digging holes again. Lassie, oh God, leave that, leave it. I brought her brush with me. I gave her a little brush here. And then what have we got around camp? Okay, we've got trousers and underwear. My chocolate fish merino hat, which is just perfect for sleeping in because it's very light and it stays on my head. For a beanie, quite often a beanie will fall off your head in the night. Sometimes it does come off, I will say, but generally speaking, it stays on most of the night. I brought with me a spare merino like base layer, but with long sleeves, which I haven't needed. And I always bring my MLD quilt liner or sleeping bag liner with me, which again, this trip I've not needed. I've got some new Montane lightweight pack pants, but they haven't got zips on the pockets, which is a little bit annoying and a bit stupid for outdoor trousers. So they've got a bit fat, unfortunately. So my small size small trousers, they don't fit me so well, if at all now. So I've just got one pair. Maybe I'll lose weight one day in the future, I don't know. But they don't have zips on them, so my wallet very helpfully fell out, so I've got that there. I did bring my watches, perfectly safe out here in the middle of nowhere. But normally they're kept in the bank vault, obviously. Camera, so I do a video on cameras, I think, today, and I did a video on watches yesterday. Insulated jacket, because I wear that. That's really only in the evening when it's quite kind of cool. Just my electrical bag in there. And then what have we got around here? It's beauty of a nice big shelter. You can move your legs either way. MLD quilt, which of course I probably won't need this trip. And then this tiny bit of Cuban, which sometimes I use for just standing on if the ground is wet. This time of the year, probably not needed, but frankly, it's so light, you know, you can just stuff it in a corner somewhere. So these two items probably won't even be used much, if at all, in the summer, but they're so tiny and light, they just stuff anywhere, that they're worth putting in. Of course, my pillow, which I always take, waterproof trousers. I did bring my balaclava, but that's superfluous to need this time of the year. I bought my bandana, that's also really superfluous to need, so it's just waterproofs under there. Waterproof socks for around camp if my shoes got wet, but again, that's really superfluous this time of the year. Lightweight gloves, which really is just for, you know, evening wear if necessary. Food bags there, that's just all food. And then we swing around all my electrical stuff. I've got here wires and things like that. I've charged up my tablet and my phone. I've finished off one power pack. This one here is polished off. these two power packs have still got 3 bars on it, and this one here has still got 3, so these two I've still got plenty. I did do a video on power packs. I probably just do a little additional piece for that actually. And then there's just obviously the rest of food and water waste is over there, rubbish. And then that's my repair kit over there, water. Breakfast is on in there. A load of rubbish I've got to put away. And then hat and gloves that are over there, which could drop it in rain in the night because I forgot to put them away. And of course the usual weather meter outside when I'm not using the tripod for videos, so it's pretty much the same as usual. Probably why so many people don't bother watching my rubbish, because it's the same every bloody time. That's why I quite like doing the little sub videos, as I'm not walking around quite so much. I just want to say, if any of you have got this far, which probably not many of you have, I do apologise if I've sort of been mentioning and pushing the Amazon affiliate links this time, and I'll probably mention them in the next month or two as well. I did sign up for Amazon affiliates, as a lot of people have done when they do videos, and I signed up for it 3 months ago, and you only get 6 months to make 3 qualifying purchases, and if you don't make 3 qualifying purchases in 6 months, then they take it away from you. And of course I probably should have waited before starting it until coming out to camp. Then I would have had 6 months of camping to catch up on. Unfortunately, rather stupidly, I set it up 3 months ago, and of course I haven't had a chance to mention it as such, and people don't really know it's there, and they probably just ignore it that it is there, which, you know, I understand. It's a bit, well, I mean, it is silly and it isn't silly. I mean, it's a few extra pennies, you know, in the direction of YouTubers and things like that, whatever we think of Amazon. But like I said, unfortunately, in the last 3 months, I've only made one qualifying sale. So I need to make at least 2 more qualifying sales within the next 3 months. Or it won't be there, they'll just take it away from me, and I don't know when I'd get it back again. So all the links I've done, all the time and effort that I did put into doing it would be just wasted, which would be a bit annoying really. Could do without that. So, you know, if you are buying anything yourself from Amazon, if you go via one of my links to purchase whatever it is that you're buying, then you don't have to buy what I'm selling, you know what I mean, you know how this stuff works. So yeah, so just click on one of my links. You don't have to buy a camera or any power packs. You can if you want to, of course, but you know, just click on one of my links and then go and do your own shopping on Amazon. And as long as you do it within 24 hours of clicking on one of my links, then I will get a small tiny percentage. I really don't think it's much, but you know, every penny adds up, as they say. And then I might scratch by, you know, with 3 qualifying purchases in the next 3 months, because like I said, I don't really want it to be taken away. And I'm not particularly careful to just make very much, but it would be annoying if it was taken away. So, you know, if you are passing down in the description, just pop down in the description and just pop over to Amazon and buy a chocolate bar or something via one of my links. Yeah. Anyway, it is what it is, isn't it? Okay, well, I think it's time that I had my tea and breakfast, and then I'll start thinking about what what sub videos I'm going to do today. I did a few yesterday. I changed the watch today. I've got the Rolex Explorer 2 Polar on the orange bracelet or strap. Rolex came out with some new watches a couple of months ago, and most people are rather sort of nonplussed by the lack of imagination. Okay, well, there'll be more watch content in the future for those that are interested in watches. And if you're not interested in watches, then of course just bypass those videos. I put some things in my pack, mainly wallet, watches, one drink, and I put my other camera in the pack, the Sony A6400, and my original plan was to walk to the top of the hill behind and do a bit more video on the camera video. But I got to the top of the hill and I just fancied stretching my legs a little bit more. I've got some nibbles on me. I've got a map and compass on me. I've got the phone on me. I've got the watch on me, the Fenix 6X, although bizarrely, for some reason, the battery on the Garmin went from 63% last night to 5% this morning, so that's a little bit of a dead weight on my wrist. So I will need to find out how or why that plummeted from 60% to 5%, making it unusable for GPS now. You'd kill the battery in minutes now, so that's an interesting thing. Luckily it's not needed around here. I was going to use it actually, funnily enough, for another video, but that will keep for another time now. And also I think it will be worth putting in a power cord for it. I haven't bothered as yet packing a power cord for the Fenix because it's supposed to last so long that a power cord isn't needed. But obviously that's not the case necessarily. Okay, well, there's a little bit of a view for you right behind me. The hill that I was on is that one on the horizon over there. So camp is down the other side of that. I hadn't actually planned on coming quite this far, it has to be said, but I've come over here now. So I'm just going to head over this hill here, just to the top of that hill, and then I'm going to start making my way back soon. I'll just give you a quick sweepy around here. You can see Lassie down there. Just a quick sweep around there. Testing. Just a little view up this valley here, down by this little brook. I will try some of the fancy pants stuff on the GoPro the slow motion things and the time lapse. There's not that much cloud in the sky for time lapse at the moment, although in all honesty it probably is enough. But I'm also using the GoPro for my little sub videos as well, so that's actually one good reason to have a few cameras on you. So I might actually maybe try a time lapse this evening when I'm sort of chilling out, because I tend to sort of, when I'm doing this sort of sub video business thing and I'm not walking, I tend to sort of think, okay, well that's it, I finish work about 6 o'clock. I'm not doing any more sub videos after 5:30, 6. Well, I might finish one if I'm doing it, but I'm not starting a little video on something at that time of the evening. That's my time just to chill out and relax extra then, as if the whole thing isn't relaxing. So I guess I could set up the GoPro this evening and I'll maybe try a time lapse this evening if there's some cloud, if there's any cloud around that's worth doing, because of course out here you haven't got people moving around, traffic, boats. There's not that many sheep moving around either, so I'll maybe try a time lapse later on. One of the other reasons why I did go for a little extra walk today is I was looking for the camp spot that I found last August-ish, and I was looking for it the other month and I couldn't find it, but I have now discovered it, so I might head for that another time, not this trip, but another time I might head in that direction. What I will do when I've got battery in my phone is, if I do find camp spots, although I say I tend to use the same ones a lot, I'm sure there's something psychological mumbo jumbo going on there, but now I know where it is, or if I find others, then I'll put them into my watch and phone and keep a record of different spots that I find in the coming 1,000 years. I was walking through this grass just back there, and lo and behold, saw another adder. So that's not bad going. It's one adder last year and one adder this year. So out here, that's now 4 adders that I have seen on Dartmoor, 2 in the last 2 years, and then the other 2 over the last 20 years. I've been coming around here now 20 years. The first time with Sue, my late wife, fortunately, was in 2001. Or was it 2002? 2002. So not quite 20 years. Because she moved in with me. She moved in with me in 2001. And I think we had our first holiday around here in 2002. So I've been messing around in these moors, maybe not as much as some people, obviously, but for nearly 20 years now. Where does that time go? Jesus. Okay. All right, enough of memory lane. We're nearly out of this tussocky stuff. I'm going to get to the top of this hill which overlooks camp again. I kind of did what I wanted to do, is killed two birds with one stone there. I had a walk, found the camp spot. Well, that's it really. I got some extra water in that valley down there so that Lassie had a drink. It's at least with this GoPro like this, hopefully the footage is much steadier than what I was doing. Yeah, that's it really. Okay. Maybe if I put more information, I get more views for my videos rather than usual boring stuff. It's only walking around on some tussocky grass. Alright, well once we get to the top of here, I'll be able to look down into the other valley where camp is and just make sure that camp is still there. And then I'm going to do a bit of video from up here on cameras, which was my original plan. Just that. And instead I had a little impromptu walk. And maybe I ought to put my socks on, because I didn't bother wearing socks because I wasn't planning on walking far. But I think my right little toe is getting a little bit sore from all that walking without socks and shoes. Okay, we're near the top of this hill here. Well, I'm at the top of the hill overlooking camp. I can see camp down there, so I can relax now. I know camp is still there. Although, luckily, to be honest, I think usually, hopefully, campers are trustworthy enough that if they see a tent somewhere, they're going to walk past and leave it very well alone. But it wasn't gone very long, and luckily where I camp, generally speaking, you don't see anybody anyway. So I was pretty comfortable leaving camp there. So I'm just sitting on this spot here, just chilling out, doing sweet FA for a minute, which I'm very professional at. But this is, I couldn't ask, you know, for the first camp, proper camp, in what, 5 months or something like that, you simply could not ask for more perfect weather than this. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have some water. I didn't bring much with me. I just topped up my water in that stream down there. I didn't bring any food as such, but I've got some sweet biscuit things. So I'm just going to nibble on those, have this water, just chill out here for a few minutes. Then I think I'm just going to walk over to those rocks over there. And then I'll carry on with my video I was doing for cameras that I'm using. Probably not doing quite so many sub videos today. I did quite a few yesterday, but I've got a couple more ideas that I can do when I either over there or in camp. But there's no point doing too many at once, then I just spread them out a little bit. Spread them out over several camps. All right, well I'm just going to have a drink of water. Something to nibble on, sweet biscuit, and just chill out here for a minute. I've taken my, I'll give you a view of my foot. I've taken my, you can see there's a little, it's a bit red there, where the bare foot was rubbing. This one's okay. Ow. Legs aren't as supple as they, oh bloody hell. Legs aren't as supple as they were 20 years ago. When you get to nearly 50, I'll be 50 this year. When you start to get a bit older, your muscles and bones and legs and things don't bend in quite the same way that they used to. So that toe will be okay. I'll put my sock on now. I was sensible enough to bring the socks. I just didn't bother putting them on because I just thought I'd be walking up here and back down again. But it's nice to have an impromptu little excursion.